What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. And it's a little bit of a different Wednesday this week because we got a game tomorrow. I will be having Jazz Santana from the Six Rings show on 5 Reasons Sports. So he will be on in about 10 or 15 minutes. Go check out that channel if you haven't. Very good content there. Michael, what's going on? So, yeah, he'll be joining us soon. But before that, I want to go on a little bit of a mini rant in the little bit of time that I have, because the depth chart came out earlier this week. And yeah, I'm not happy with what I saw, to be honest with you. For the most part, there's some good on that depth chart, more bad than good in my opinion. And I know we're not supposed to read too much into it, that amount of snaps means more than who's starting. Yes and no. But you know what? I'm done being patient. I'm going to read into it. And as you guys go filling up the chat, Jersey Kane, what's going on? Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go hit that like button. I'm going to share with you guys, if you haven't seen it, the depth chart for this week. Give me 1 second. Les, what's up? Let's see, share screen. Here we go. All right. So, starting at quarterback, De'Ara King is in bold, but we know he's hurt. Most likely it's going to be Tyler Van Dyke starting. I'm good with that, whatever. I heard some rumors that Jake Garcia, possibly was walking around in a boot or something, but he had the foot issues early in the spring. That's probably precautionary. I think we would have heard something if he was actually hurt. So it's probably going to be the Van Dyke and Garcia show, which I am totally fine with. Cameron Harris, starting at running back. This is one of the positions where snaps, I think, means more than anything. Yeah, he's starting. His name is in bold, and that's fine. I have had my criticisms of him, not being able to break tackles, and I stand by that. But he does do a lot of other things well. He makes plays in the open field. For being such a big guy, he's very fast. He's got that breakaway speed. He can make guys miss. He's good in the passing game, pass protection. He does a lot of things well. But that tough running, ripping through arm tackles and moving the chains, getting first downs, that is not one of them, unfortunately. So, yes, he will get his snaps, and that's fine. You want a veteran in there. But I need to see more Cody Brown. I need to see more Jalen Knighton. Hopefully they get featured more. Keyshawn Smith, Charleston Rambo, I'm fine with that. Michael Redding or Romello Brinson, I really just would rather see Romello Brinson ahead of him. And I'm sorry, D. Wiggins, he really should not even be in that 2 deep or that 3 deep. It should be, honestly, maybe Romello Brinson behind Rambo, Redding behind Smith, and then maybe George rotating as that 5th guy. I don't want to see D. Wiggins' name there anymore, and I don't know if anybody would disagree with me on that, but at this point, it's just way too many drops. He should not be seeing meaningful snaps. I'm sorry. And then at the slot, you got Mike Harley starting. Fine. Xavier Restrepo, Brashard Smith, both making plays. You got to get Brashard Smith on that field. You have to. If anything, I would put an or between all those names, and I want to see like an even snap count with all of them, because Harley's been having some drops this season as well. Until he gets more consistent, then maybe he should, get more playing time. But until then, it should be an or between all those guys' names. Imagine a situation where Brashard Smith and Jalen Knighton are on the field at the same time. That would be insane. So you got to, he's there. His name's there, so that's good. You got to feature him. Let's see. Will Mallory starting. Okay. I want to see more snaps for Elijah Arroyo. I don't want to see his name there as a backup, but he gets like 2 snaps the entire game. No. He's pancaking people in the blocking game. And then Les. Hang on. I just saw this comment. Les, I got a video of you working out. Really? What's up? Let's see. What's up? Manolo's in trouble, boss. Manolo's in trouble. Yes, he is. But yeah, back to the tight end. Sorry, got distracted. Yeah, Will Mallory's been a little disappointing this year. I'm willing to give him more of a shot because we know what he's capable of. But Elijah Arroyo, he's pancaking people when he's blocking. He's made a couple of nice catches. I need to see him featured more in that passing game. Let's see who else. Offensive line. That starting offensive line, I mean, Ja'Kai Clark better be the starter. I think that's a situation there that's like, okay, yeah, Gainer's the starter, but he's out probably again, so it's going to be Clark. I think this O-line gets an upgrade when Ja'Kai Clark is at center. I really do. Jared Williams at right tackle. Wasn't crazy about the way he played, but maybe Oluwaseun should be starting. Those are my only beefs with the offense. Now the defense, I'm sorry, Zach McCloud should not be starting. Again, I know snap count is the most important thing, but if your name is in bold, that's a pretty good indication of who's going to be getting the most snaps. So, and in this case, it should not be Zach McCloud. Chance Williams should be getting more of a chance. I realize he's inexperienced. I realize he's a freshman. He's going to make mistakes, but he is so much more talented. Get him on the field. D tackles, I think we've been solid this year. You got Leonard Taylor, hopefully gets a little bit of some time, a little bit of burn. I know he's got a lot to work on. You got Jafari Harvey, fine. You got Amari Carter, Gilbert Frierson. I'd like to see more of GD3. He was our most reliable defender last year. But Amari Carter's been playing well, so I'm not too mad at that. You got Corey Flagg, okay. Wayne Steed, he's been playing better. Bradley Jennings, I'm sorry, no, absolutely not. He cannot be in the 2 deep. I saw enough from Chase Smith that I realized, who the opponent was, but I saw enough from Chase Smith that I want to see more of him. Again, young guy, he's probably going to make, some mental errors. But the dude makes plays. The dude is a natural playmaker. He's got speed. He's physical. He hits hard. You want that on your field. Avery Huff, fine. Put him in there. I would love to see some Sam Brooks in there as well. A lot less Bradley Jennings, please. Yes, Jamar, agreed. He just misses too many assignments. I'm sorry. He does. At safety, Bubba Bolden, unless he just plays terrible, he's not going anywhere. Cam Kinchin's behind him. And then you got, this is one of the positive things. James Williams, number 0, the 6'5", near 230-pound freshman. There's an or next to his name, but let's be honest, he's the starter, and he damn well should be. I totally agree with that. So glad to see James Williams starting. He's so far, he's earning it, in my opinion. And then corner, I'm sorry, just like the other number 8, this number 8, DJ Ivy, should not be playing at all. Chug Mobir, what's going on, man? Congrats, Canesball, going over 1,000 people. Do great work, John. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Chug Mobir, if you guys don't know, he's one of, if not the most loyal Canes content consumer on YouTube. So Chug Mobir, I appreciate it. Chug, are you going to be at the game tomorrow? I don't even know if you're local in Miami or not. I'm going to be at the game. Quarterback, yeah. DJ Ivy, I'm sorry, should not be playing. Shout out to Wholesome One, by the way. He did a great video review of some of the highlights of the CCSU game. There was one play, and he's done this his whole career. There was one play where DJ Ivy got beat on a slant on 3rd and 7 and got an easy first down. I mean, it was like watching someone play Madden on rookie mode. When you run that slant, you time it right, it's a first down every time. That's what it looked like against Ivy. I'm sorry, but for now, he's done. Tyreek Stevenson and Takori Couch are by far our 2 best corners, and I don't know why they're even bothering putting an or next to either one of their names. They should absolutely be the starters. And then Al Blades, okay, he'll get playing time. Let's see. And yeah, I think that's all I needed to say about the corners. I would love to see more Marcus Clark and Isaiah Dunson, but I don't know if I'm going to get that wish knowing this coaching staff. And the kick returner. Mike Harley and Xavier Restrepo, I mean, you've got to be kidding me after what you saw from Rashard Smith. How can his name not be there? Someone please explain to me, how can his name not be there? I don't care what year you're in. I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior. Devin Hester, I understand I'm talking about the greatest returner of all time, but Devin Hester was returning kicks as a freshman. Roscoe Parrish was returning kicks as a freshman. And there's probably a few others I can't name them off the top of Travis Benjamin returning kicks as a freshman. Okay? You can't be scared of putting those guys back there. But anyway, that's my little rant on the starting lineup. I want to believe that Manny has woken up and finally will have the courage to play some of his younger guys. Because if you look at all the other big programs, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, LSU, none of them, they're all playing for the same thing. They're all playing for a playoff spot. None of them are afraid to play their five-star freshmen. None of them. Maybe they don't start, but they're in the rotation, and they're always making plays. Telling the truth, John Manning is nuts. Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, back in 2019, let me remind everyone that, for those that want to trust the coach's judgment, that, they're at practice, they know more than we do. With most other coaches, yes, I agree with that. I will default to whatever, the coach says because they know what they're doing. Back in 2019, let me remind you that this same head coach decided that Matt Patchen or Scott Patchen, should be starting again over Greg Rousseau. I'm sorry, but they lost me there, and that was 2 years ago already. Anyways, my guest has just joined us. Let me pop him in real quick. What's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up?
I'm just, voicing my my displeasure of the season. Not just the season so far, but the depth chart that was released. I saw some things on there that made me a little nervous. I don't know about you. Maybe you can give your take on certain things. Like, for example, obviously De'Ara King is hurt. Even though his name is there, that's probably a little gamesmanship on Manny's part. We all probably know that Van Dijk is starting, but I don't know. Did you see anything? Did you see anything that you liked on that depth chart, and also anything that concerned you?
I take it with a grain of salt, man. I don't trust that depth chart that gets released. Like you said, I think it's just a bunch of gamesmanship. From Manny Diaz's part and the rest of the team. So as we all know, De'Ara King is not going to play. And apparently Jake Garcia was in a boot at school, right? So although he's been nursing that all year, so I don't know what to make of that either. So, a lot of things that they do, man, are mind games. It's the first game of conference play. And the only one that I think that maybe concerns me, I might have to say, is Ja'Kai Clark not starting at center. I think maybe that's the one. I know that we heard Garen Justice talk about how, where they were going to try to redshirt him this year and all that. But look, the truth is, right? Like, we haven't even started ACC play yet, and as we all know, it's absolutely wide open on both sides, right? So, why not just look? If you win out and you win the ACC, right? There's still a small possibility that you get into this playoff. Okay, that's just the truth. So why not just go at it with your best guys? If Ja'Kai Clark is your best center, man, you got to play Ja'Kai Clark. I just feel like that's what that is. But aside from that, yeah, and some people are mentioning DJ Ivey. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why DJ Ivey's even, I guess he would be the third guy on the depth chart, right? If we start Couch and Stevenson. So I think that Al Blades is starting to come into his own now. He's starting to get healthy again. He's probably the guy there. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of Isaiah Dunson either. So, it's kind of weird, but again, I don't put too much into that depth chart anymore. I think we learned our lesson. With the last 3 or 4 that have come out. So,
yeah. And about the whole Ja'Kai Clark thing, Coach Justice coming out and saying, "Oh, he's the center of the future. Our goal is to sit." I understand that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but with the rate at which guys transfer from school to school, the rate, now you're seeing guys just sitting out their junior year entirely. So you maybe only get a year and a half out of them. Why wait? If they're talented, throw them on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, and obviously at the wide receiver position, we saw, how well the three amigos played last week. And again, last week, Central Connecticut State. But I've been saying it from the beginning, and John, we've done this a few times already. I think we did it before the season started. I was very adamant about getting those three kids playing time because they are probably the most talented guys on this team at the wide receiver position, regardless of age. I know Rambo's having a good year so far. He started to pick it up. Mike Harley is he's all over the place right now. So, I mean, look, I'm sure we'll see a lot of those guys play. So I'm not too worried about the depth chart really.
All right. Hopefully we do, because I mean, you now know what weapons you have with guys like Brashard Smith. I mean, immediately imagine him and Jalen Knighton on the field at the same time.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife, man. He can do it all. Yeah. I love that they had him in the backfield. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, all good. So yeah, man, I hope you're right. I'm trying not to read too much into it, but we did that before the season, and look what happened. It was exactly what we were afraid it was going to be. But we got, as we got Virginia tomorrow. Everyone's saying that Virginia's coming in. They're always going to give us a tough game for whatever reason. That's just how it is. Brennan Armstrong is playing out of his mind. However, they have not been beating the best competition. What do you make of this Virginia team so far this year?
Well, like you said, they're not very good. Brennan Armstrong, is having an amazing year. He might be the best quarterback in the ACC right now, and that's just based off of numbers. Again, like you said, they haven't won, right? I think they're 0-3, aren't they?
They're 0-2 in the ACC.
0-2 in the ACC. Okay, so I mean, they're always tough. Bronco Mendenhall is a great coach, so he's going to have those guys up and ready, especially for a Thursday night game at Hard Rock. Like you said, they always give us a hard time. They give anybody a hard time. They're a tough team, and Miami sometimes tends to, kind of overlook these games that maybe they should win handily, right? I mean, it's the same story every single time. But I'm going to go with a hot take, and I do expect Miami to win. And win. I don't want to say big, but win comfortably. I really think they will. It's going to be tough, man. I mean, look, they don't really have a running game. I mean, their running game is suspect. They've got good tight end play and good O-line play though. So that means that our defensive line is going to have to step up and cause some pressure, make some errant throws. And right now he's doing a good job of not doing that. So I think it's going to be a battle, but I want them. I guess the better thing to say is I want them to win handily, as opposed to I know they are, right? So, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, man. And I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you on too long, but yeah, as you will, I'm sure I'm going to be at the game. This will be my first. I mean, I went last week to CCSU, but this will be my first real game since 2019. So hopefully we bring the atmosphere. I know that's been criticized, but even if you get that stadium half full, it'll have a decent, I think, atmosphere. Us Cubans can get loud enough. So, hopefully we can rattle Armstrong a little bit, because like you said, what I've seen so far, I haven't been impressed. There's that one clip that kind of went around on Twitter that I think Wake Forest just threw a bomb on their defense for a touchdown, and the D lineman just stopped. I don't know if you've seen that clip.
No, I haven't seen it actually.
I'll have to, if I find it, I'll DM it to you. But yeah, man, I mean, the ACC, especially the Coastal's wide open, and it's ours for the taking. Hey, Flo, what's going on?
What's up, Flo?
So yeah, man, I think that, and I think tomorrow's ours for the taking. Couple, one or two more questions. Is Tyler Van Dyke under center? How do you feel about him right now? Are you comfortable with that, or are you thinking, under the lights, he might make a few mistakes? How do you feel about him under center?
Look, I'm happy that he got the start last week. I'm happy that both him and Jake played last week, and they played well, which obviously boosts their confidence level. Right, last week we know it was a confidence boosting game. That's what it was. It was to get these all the young guys in, get them their play, make sure they don't transfer, and then get the confidence level up from some of these guys. I think he's fine. I think he'll be all right. Look, a lot of his numbers came off, some dump passes that went for long yardage, right? The 83 yarder and I think the 75 yarder. So I'm not complaining about it, but at the same time, I want to see him when, like you said, when the bright lights are on and he's facing a third and six, third and seven, and make a nice throw down the field and get those 10, 15 yards on that throw. I want to see him hit some more passes further down, down the field. I know he hit that one to Rambo, but he kind of put too much air in it. He just got lucky. It was a good, he was able to get under to make a good catch. But I want to see him do those things. We all see that he can do the intermediate stuff, right? He can dump it off. He can hit the guys on these, short little out routes and but I definitely want to see him kind of stretch the field a little bit. He's going to have to, right? Because regardless of how good or bad Virginia is, we're going to have to make plays down the field, uh, combined with the explosive, short plays where we dump it off and we let, whether it's Knighton, whether it's Brashard Smith, Cam Harris, whoever it is, kind of make those big plays after that. So I'm okay with him, getting the start. I'm confident that I think he'll be all right. He's got the arm strength. He's been in the program for a few years now. I think he'll be all right.
I think so too. And a lot of the problems the O line's been having this year, I feel like not all of it. I think the O line hasn't played well overall, but I think some of it has had to do with De'Ara King making the wrong read, and I think that makes the line look worse at times.
Absolutely.
I think TVD had made some really good reads in that game, so that's very promising. He's a different guy. He gives you a different set of eyes. Maybe he goes through his progressions better. We'll see. It's
Well, and not only that, like he's 6'4", right? So
that too.
whereas
Yeah.
De'Ara King was 5'10", 5'11", and he's better outside the pocket, whereas TVD, and somebody mentioned it on the timeline on the chat here, the RPO is great with DVD. You saw him make really good decisions, whether it was giving the ball off or holding it, getting a few yards, or throwing the ball. You saw Jake Garcia do the same thing, right? He made some really good reads in that RPO. So I loved what they did in the RPO. I think that unfortunately it is what it is, right? He's taller. He can see down the field maybe a little bit more than De'Ara King can from the pocket. So he might have the advantage doing that. And if he can do that, he can continue to do that tomorrow night. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So before I let you go, give me a prediction. What do you think the score is going to be tomorrow?
Oh man, well, like I said, I think that Miami's going to win handily. I think they'll be able to, get ahead, score some points. Well, they're going to need to anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to go 34-17 Miami.
Okay. I think they're totally capable of that. And like I said, I'm going to be there. So I hope that happens.
Well, because you're there, they'll definitely win handily.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying, do you remember when we lost to Tennessee like 10-6 in the Orange Bowl?
Yeah.
I was, I go to most home games, but I remember telling I was in high school, I was like, man, if I had been there, we would have won. And to this day, I believe that.
Hey, man, listen, it happens. Stranger things have happened.
Seriously. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us. I usually would give a score prediction, but the last few games I've given score predictions, and we've almost always lost. So I stopped doing that. Let me see if it works.
At least one of us won't. That's good.
Yeah. But Jazz, let the people know really quick where they can find you.
Yep. At Jazz Santana is my personal Twitter handle, but you can always find me at Six Rings Canes. That's where I'm usually posting a lot of my Cane stuff, is at Six Ring Canes on Twitter, and also on my show. We actually start the show tonight at 9. So if anybody wants to jump in, John, you're more than welcome to come on and jump in the show as well. We'll start at 9 with the Six Rings Cane show. We'll preview UVA as well. We'll do a little bit of that and just kind of shoot the breeze, man.
Cool, man. Sounds good. All right, man. Well, I'll let you go and prepare for that.
You got it, buddy. All right, man.
All right, so that was Jazz. He's always good. I think this is the third time we've had him on, so always love to hear his take. John, what's good? Canes fan, what do you think of King moving over to wide receiver? He did it. Oh, he did it at Houston. Yes, he did. Not going to make it in the NFL as a QB, so why not get some film at wide receiver when healthy, of course. That is something I haven't heard brought up much in the last couple of weeks since, De'Ara King's been benched because of his injuries. And I say injuries plural because it's the shoulder. Then I still don't think his knee might be 100%, but I don't think he's 100% recovered from that because it takes more than 8 months to get back to what you were previously after a blown out ACL. It takes at least a year to get the just full confidence back that you're not even thinking about it anymore. So yeah, him at receiver. I mean, there's clips of him returning kicks, and when he was at his fastest, that dude can move. Terry, I'm just saying that's why we have all those passing stats. Plus, their defense isn't good this year. Yeah, no, Kane, I agree. Virginia's defense is not good. The best thing about their team this year, honestly, is their passing attack. They have not been able to establish any kind of a run. They have a really good tight end who I heard was a little banged up, so he may play, he may not, I don't know. And their defense just looks atrocious. Granted, ours hasn't looked very good either, but we have played much tougher competition. That I can tell you for sure. Let's see. Yeah, that was that Tennessee game I'm talking about. Yep. Man, if I was there, we would have won. I'm telling you. You score 6 points against Tennessee. That Canes team. Anyway, David Franklin says, what wide receiver would he take reps from? Oh, that must be from a previous comment. You talking about Brinson, David? Man, right now I think he should take some reps. Not all, obviously, because he's been playing. I think he's been playing pretty well. Maybe take a few from Restrepo and a few, not Restrepo, a few from Rambo and a few from, Keyshawn Smith whenever he needs like a breather. You throw Brinson in there. I think he should be the immediate backup behind that you rotate in behind Brinson and Rambo. Behind Smith and Rambo. Brinson should be the third guy, in my opinion. Harley, I think if Harley loses any snaps, it should be to Restrepo and Brashard Smith evenly. Oh, talking about King. Gotcha. That'll probably be more of a, because they said he could redshirt and still play one more year next year if he wanted to. So that will probably be for next year, whether he stays here or not. That's a good question. I don't know if he can't take snaps away from anybody in that receiving group, I think. Let's see, 24-21 Miami if Manny plays upperclassmen. If Manny doesn't play some of these young guys, if he doesn't give the three amigos, Brinson, George, and Smith, 15, 20 snaps each, if he doesn't give Cody Brown like 10 to 15 touches or 10 to 12 touches maybe, if he doesn't give maybe Sam Brooks and Chase Smith a little bit of burn, maybe Cam Kinchins at safety next to James Williams. If he doesn't do any of those things, and it's just a repeat of the App State game, we're going to lose. I'm telling you right now. It's probably that score reversed. Our passing game will open up our running game. It should, Les. I've been saying that since last year. Rhett Lashley's offense is at its best when it gets the little dink and dunks, the 5 to 7 yard passes. When it gets that little game going, then other things open up because all it takes is one missed tackle. All it takes is Mike Harley or Restrepo to make a guy miss in the open field, and that little 5-yarder becomes a 30-yarder, okay? So I totally agree. I've been saying that since last year, but they don't do it. But now I'm thinking, well, some of it was Lashley, but was some of it on King making the wrong read? It could be that. Manny said he needs more recruiting classes to win. We have 45 5-star guys in UVA, has 2 5-star guys. Sorry, but it's about coaching. I 100% agree, Terry, that player development has been the number one problem at Miami for 16, 17 years now. Ever since that class of Vilma, DJ, Sean Taylor, Vince Wilfork, the one that broke the first round draft record. I would say since then, it's been a drop off, and it's been a series of drop offs since then. It's guys just haven't developed. Yes, thank you, Flo. Hit that like button. LT better play. I agree. Maybe not the 20 to 25 snaps I'm saying for the other guys, but LT should get in there. At least 10 to 12 snaps. He should get in there. Let's see. We got to jump on UVA early, step on their neck, go up 14-3. If we let them hang around, it will be bad news. Yeah. And if it's one of those situations like Michigan State where all Will Mallory has to do is catch that ball in the end zone and we go up 14-3 and we probably win that game, because that game has a different feel when you're up 2 touchdowns. The opportunities are going to be there early for them to jump out quickly. But are they going to take them? Because good teams jump on those opportunities. And if they don't, if they make a mistake, that's fine. Good teams know how to bounce back from it. We won't fall apart after a drop pass in the end zone. Flo's going to pause the show if you don't hit the like button. Sean, if Manny gets beat by more than 14 points, he has to get fired right after the game. No excuses. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach fired after a win, but yeah, like Flo said, the optics have to be good. But I think if he wins like 12-9, his job is safe for a few more weeks. I just think they're looking for the W. Honestly, they're going after my leg. Yeah. So yeah, I'm torn. I want to tell you that I feel confident about tomorrow, and when I look at the rosters, we should. Like someone said earlier, Terry, we have 45 blue chip recruits and they have 2. And to finish that comment, yeah, we don't have a talent issue at the University of Miami. Now, to get to that elite level, it does take 4, 5, 6 years at least. You need layers and layers of talent to get to that level. But right now, do we have the talent to win the Coastal every year? Yes. We've had that talent since 2008, 2009, I would say. So, yeah, no excuses there. We should be, winning 8, 9 games minimum every year. And if not winning the Coastal every year, winning it like 4 or 5 out of every 6 years. It really should be, we should be running away with this division, honestly. And that's been my major frustration. But as far as Manny saying he needs more recruiting classes to win, he needs more recruiting classes to be elite, but not to win. I mean, again, there he goes blaming the players again. I think with good classes, the portal, and great coaches, you can change a program in 3 years tops. That has happened. The Urban Meyers of the world have been able to do that. But that's Nick Saban by year 3 with Alabama. I think he was winning the national championship in 2009. Yeah, because he was 07. He won 7-5, if I'm not mistaken. 08, they lost to Tebow in the SEC championship. 09, they beat Texas. Yes. Yeah. You're talking about 2 of the greatest coaches of all time. But if you're talking like Dabo Swinney, I don't put him as top 5 greatest of all time, but he's a very good coach. Brent Venables is an excellent defensive coordinator, one of the greatest ever. 7 years, 8 years, look what they've built. But no coaching, bottom line, yeah. See, talent-wise, it shouldn't be close, but when you factor in coaching and development, it's a crapshoot like every other game. Agreed. But you know what can offset that? Good quarterback play. And let's see if Tyler Van Dyke is that guy. I think he can be. I think he just needed to get a little confidence. Like he has said before, he is a little hesitant at times, but if he could just shake that off, he's got all-world ability. When Manny could man up and take some blame on himself. I will give Manny a little credit. I hate to do this, but at the beginning of that Zoom call he was on a couple days ago, I think it was on Canes All Access that you can watch it. He said something about having the players prepared, and at the end of the day, that's on me. That's the first time I hear him say that in 3 years. So, but then right after that, a few minutes later, he was like, yeah, there was a couple of mental mistakes, but that was due to having so many young guys out there, which makes me nervous that he's not going to have the young guys out there. So we'll see. Manny is clueless about the talent he has on his roster. At certain positions, yes, he is very much so in over his head compared to other coaches in the Power Five. If Manny loses, he's fired. John, you saw the ESPN guy going after Cristobal because screaming at his head coach. Cristobal's an alpha. I love Mario Cristobal. I've said that many times. I mean, not just because he went to my alma mater for high school, but I've always been a fan of that dude. Ever since he was an assistant coach here in the mid 2000s. Was it a little over the top throwing the headset? Did he probably know the camera was on him? Yeah, it's kind of like a manager in baseball arguing with an umpire. He knows he's out there. He's getting tossed out of the game. He was like, all right, let me get my money's worth. That's probably what Cristobal did. He went past a certain point. He was like, screw it. Let me go all in on this kid. And yeah, it was probably a little over the top, but you know what? I guarantee you that kid respects Coach Cristobal so much that he's never going to make that mistake again. I guarantee you. And, you'll never see Manny doing that. All right. Boogie says, TVD and Garcia are both NFL QBs to me, but behind this O-line, not sure if they will ever see it. I'm willing to see what this O-line is going to do with Ja'Kai Clark at center and different quarterbacks that can make quicker decisions and can make better decisions. Remember, that helps the O-line. When the O-line has to sit there and block for 4 or 5 seconds, you're going to run into problems. Year 1, Manny fired the offensive coaches. Year 2, he fired the defensive coaches. Year 3, the only one left to fire. Yep. Agreed. My prediction, I think he's gone at the end of the year because the only way he sticks around is if he wins out. And I think the only way you win out is if you have the cojones, the courage to play your younger talent. And I'm sorry, I don't think he does. I think he goes 7-6, 8-5 probably, and he gets let go at the end of the year. And he gets let go only because Blake James is feeling pressure from certain boosters and administration, and he's saving his own job. So take that for what you will. Manny does the slip and slide. TVD and Garcia make the O-line better. Yes, they might. If they definitely did against CCSU. So let's see what happens this week. May have to start boycotting games if they don't get rid of Blake James. I'm getting to that point myself. John, if Clark can block 5 guys, I would say you're right, but he's one man. He is one man, Javier, but remember, at center, you're the one making sure guys line up right. And you're the one, letting the quarterback know, hey, I think this is the play. I think this guy's blitzing. They're in this setup. Quarterback and center, there's a lot of communication happening. And then that gets spoken out to the rest of the line. So whoever's at center, they're kind of the brain of the O-line. So yeah, he is one guy, but he affects a great center affects everybody else positively. Manny doesn't have that fire that our coaches have. Nope. No, he does not. All right. But all that being said, I think we should win tomorrow. Let's see what happens. I'll leave this on for a few more minutes to see if you guys have any more good questions, comments. Please, again, if you're just coming in now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We had Jazz Santana on earlier from 5 Reasons Sports from the Six Ring Canes show that he does every week. He's actually doing it at 9, and then you got Canes Inside at 9. You got all this great content to go watch. So go check that out. What less people will go? We'll be lucky if there are 20,000 there tomorrow. I don't think so. I think remember that 2019 game against UVA against the same team. We played them in a Friday night rainy game. I think we were 2-3 going into that game, and it was like do or die. We needed to win that game to kind of keep the season alive, and we did. And I remember it probably helped because it was a Friday game, but still, that I was impressed with how many people showed up and the atmosphere that was at that game. I really was. So I have a feeling this will be the same thing. I have a feeling it'll be closer to 35, 40,000, probably like 35,000. I'm thinking you get 35,000 in that stadium, there'll be a decent enough atmosphere. UVA will move up their DBs and safeties and not let the Kings dink and dunk all day. They will eventually drop, and that's when we are in trouble. Well, if they do that, that's when will TVD be able to hit passes over the top? Will Brinson and Smith and the other Smith, Keyshawn, will they be able to make plays against their corners? You know, that's where this, can we get the big plays over the top? That's what's going to break their defense. Max, what's going on? There will be 20,000 from Hialeah alone. Yeah. Remember, it's a night game. We do draw more fans for night games, always. That's always been the case. First priority is new AD. Yep, 100%. I seen Miami beating FSU and Duke. Anybody else, watch out. Yeah, that's what I'm predicting. 7 or 8 wins probably. But I do think we win this game. Do we win handily? Maybe. I hope so. I really do. The change at center was the best coaching move yet. Agreed. All right, guys. Well, 42 minutes in, I think I'll probably stop it there. Just to let you guys know, I will be doing my Cafecito and Canes pregame show, a special edition of it tomorrow. I'll be going on live for a little bit right at 5. Before I head out for the game, I'll probably do like a quick 15, 20-minute thing. So please join me, give your final thoughts before the game. Like I said, I will be there. So, hit up my Twitter if you want to stop by and say what's up. I'll be going by to see Flo where he's tailgating. And yeah, Les, thank you, sir. Can we protect long enough to hit the big plays? That is what I'm worried about. We'll see. A lot of question marks going into this game. That's why I'm not sure if we'll win by blowout, but I do think we win. All right, everybody. Thanks for being on. I appreciate it. Appreciate the, again, donation, Chug No Beer. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I will see you guys live tomorrow at 5 p.m. As always, it's all about that U. Go Canes. And, oh, wait, hang on. Great show. All right. Sorry, I thought there was another question. Anyways, sorry. Go Canes. Have a good night, guys.